Good morning, everybody, and Happy New Year. I know I didn't get to, my day is not on the 1st, but I wanted to tell you Happy New Year. Some of you, I'm sure, on June 30th, celebrated a fabulous win of some sort. Whatever your goal was, you crossed the finish line, so proud with your confidence soaring and your belief barrier expanded, all of those good things. And some, maybe June 30th came and you didn't cross the finish line you were hoping for. You moved forward, right? You made progress, but you didn't finish the DI2. You didn't finish sales call, whatever it was you didn't finish. So what I want you to do though, and you may have already done this, so if you have, that's okay, forward this call to somebody else, but I want you to just take a minute and say, and be really proud of yourself and finish this sentence. I'm incredibly proud of myself for doing blank. What is it that you did that maybe would have been a stretch? Maybe it's something that you don't normally do 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever. What is it that you accomplished that you are super, super proud of, right? What is it that you did that was maybe outside your comfort zone? I want you to think about that. What is it that you did, even just like in the month of June? Maybe you started asking for referrals for the very first time at your parties, or maybe you're that intention of getting a booking a day, and so your first hour, which is what Mary Kate recommends us to do, is the first hour of every day is spent on booking. So a record-breaking year for you this year, and that would be, and this is, it's like the come to Jesus moment where you don't have to share this with anyone else if you don't want to, although if you have a mentor or someone who's coaching you, this would be a great thing to share with them. What do you think kept you from reaching the goal you had set? Now, if you met the goal that you set, then my question to you is, what could have changed that would have made you even excel farther beyond that? So just think about it. Is it maybe procrastination? I'm just throwing out some ideas. Is it maybe you've got a lot of demands on your time with kids and work, and so it was maybe just not setting aside enough time, not making time a priority? Was it maybe, I take no's personally? Was it I just don't have good leads? Like, what is it that you feel held you back? And then I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to say, okay, let's say you're telling yourself, well, I didn't really get enough leads. I don't have enough leads to do what I want to do. And then my question is, well, why do you think you don't have enough leads? What would keep you back? Like, well, I don't like talking to people I don't know. Okay, so what is it about talking to people that it doesn't fit right? So you just have to keep asking yourself. It's like peeling an onion, one layer down, one more layer. So I'm going to give you a quick example. I was talking to a consultant a couple months back, and she said, well, I really, I said, well, what's the goal you're working on? She goes, well, I'm not really working on a goal. And I said, well, what I will know is that your brain will never appreciate the work and the progress if you don't have a goal. I said it could be a sales goal, it could be a space goal. Maybe you want to acknowledge the activity but not the result. Like, I'm going to do 8 faces this week instead of I'm going to sell $700 this week. Like, whatever motivates you, and for everyone it's different, what does that look like? So this consultant said to me, and I'll make a long story very short, she said to me, well, I'd like to be a star consultant. And I said, okay, so why is that important to you? And she said, well, it's great because I get early referrals and I can order early. I get company referrals, order early, prizes. And she rattled off all the typical stuff. And I said, well, why is all of that important to you? And she goes, I love to be able to have my family help me pick the prize. And I said, oh, tell me more about that. And she goes, well, I've got 2 kids that are young teens. And she said, my husband, and as soon as the quarter's over, I go in and I show them, we gather around the laptop, and I show them how many points I had, and we try to figure out what we want. She goes, I do get the last vote because it is my star, but she said, I get them all involved. And I said to her, why is that important to you? And she said, I like my family to be a part of my win. And again, I wasn't trying to be obnoxious. I said, and why is that important to you? And she paused, and it got really quiet, and I didn't say a word, and she said, I want my husband to be proud of me. And then she started to cry. I get a little teary-eyed. Now, what's interesting about that is that didn't come out in the first question or the 4th question. It was about the 10th question of, well, why is that important? To peel down enough layers to realize the reason she wanted to be a star consultant was because she wanted to hear her husband say, wow, we're going to get that charcuterie board for the lake house or whatever. I'm really proud of you. Like she needed that affirmation from him that would make her feel proud. It wasn't so much about the prize, because I asked her that, is it the prize? And she said, no, it's not the prize. It's him, because she's a stay-at-home mom and he's the breadwinner. So she goes, it's my way of feeling like I'm contributing toward our family, and it makes me feel appreciated. It makes me feel special. It makes me feel important. So her whole motivation for being a star consultant wasn't really about making money. It wasn't, I mean, yes, that's important. It wasn't about servicing her customers, although that is important. For her, it was the pride of her family and her husband saying he was proud of her. So with that said, I want to ask you, what kept you from reaching your goal? So let's say your goal this last year was to do sales court, and instead you did 22,000 instead of 40. Okay, what do you feel? Because you know what you needed to do. We all do. It's 40,000 retail. If you make it a very non-emotional goal, you just do the math. You divide 40,000 by 52 weeks, it'll tell you the retail amount you need. So you know what the dollar amount is. It wasn't like it's a surprise. And you probably know the activity level. So what would have kept you back? And maybe it was, well, I'm not confident closing appointments. I'm good at booking them. I can hold them, but I don't like asking for the sale. Whatever that is, I need you to have your own peel the onion layers back, come to Jesus meeting, and be true to yourself and say, what held me back from getting my goal? Okay? And it might have been something out of your control. You might have had a major health issue this year. You might have had something come up. I don't know. But I want you to be attuned to that, because the result of that is you can say to yourself, so let's just say it was lack of confidence closing a party. Then my comment to you was, is that something that can be fixed? Is that something you could build confidence in? And I'm pretty sure you would say to me, yeah, I could build confidence in that area. I can get that fixed. I can learn how to be strong at closing a party. Okay? Would you agree with that? So if that is our hypothetical situation, then I'm going to say to you, okay, great. So if you need to be more confident, what's your next step? Just not how are you going to finalize everything, right? It's just what is your next step? Okay? And maybe it's like, well, I'm going to go on YouTube and I'm going to look at closing the parties of $2 million directors, or I'm going to call my director and ask her whose video I can watch, or maybe you're going to watch your director. And if you're a director, maybe you're going to watch your senior director, your national, close the party, or find somebody who's done sales court a gazillion times and ask them how they close. Okay? And realize everybody's closed. If you ask 10 top directors how they close, I guarantee you're going to get 10 different answers. So realize you don't have to be them, but there are some key things with closing a party, maybe selling in sets or offering incentives or whatever. So I will tell you, most of the reasons we don't reach our goals isn't a skill, most of the time. Most of the time, it's a mindset. It's I don't feel confident enough. I don't feel strong enough. I don't feel something. I don't feel organized. I don't feel whatever. How you feel is vital to your success. Absolutely vital to your success. So I want to tell you, it's the new year. The product isn't going to change much. I mean, yeah, they'll bring out a few new things and get rid of a few things. The company's marketing plan isn't going to change. The only thing that you have control, and none of those you have control over anyway. The thing you have control over, though, is your belief, your level of activity, your commitment, who you surround yourself with. That's the stuff you have control over. So that's the stuff you want to focus on. The stuff that you know that you can impact, and know that, is it always easy? No. I needed 4 Great Start qualifieds a week ago, a week before the end of June, to finish my B. Sales court was done, over $500,000 was done, Cadillac was finished early, like all of those were done, and I still needed 4 Great Start qualified. And when I looked at the 4, I'm going to be really honest with you, I kind of like went, oh my God, I can't do this. And I thought, oh, Diane, get real. And I thought, you can do this. Who's the next one? And I just knew this. If I put my head down and I did the work, God would honor the chase. That has never failed me in my career of 30 years. Never have I ever said to myself, just do the work and God will honor the chase. So I knew in order for me to get those last 4, I had to keep holding parties. So yes, it's a week out before the end of June. I drove to Elk Grove, which was an hour and 20 minutes one way, hour and 20 minutes home to hold a party. I got a new recruit. Then I literally 2 days later did another skincare class, got another recruit. Then I got a referral of somebody who reached out to me who said, my mom used to sell Mary Kay. My mom passed away, blah, blah, blah. She wants it for the discount. And so she joined my team. So again, all of these would have, if you just look at it in totality, it was just like, oh my gosh. But I thought, who's the next step? Who's just the next one I can talk to? So remember, Martin Luther King's great quote is, you don't have to see the top of the stairs, just the next step. You guys, I'm here for you. I am cheering you on. There's nothing you can't do. Once you set your mind and you draw draw a line in the sand. All right. Love you all. Have a fabulous day.